Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Shanae Glasgow, Emily Manley, Storm Team 3's forecast with Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. Good Morning Macomb continues.
Continued instability in Yemen, fracturing of Iraq, and escalating attacks by ISIS. What do these incidents mean for the United States? Joining us this morning is Keokuk, Iowa native and former ambassador to Yemen, Edmund Hall. Minister Hall, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I know that you have a busy day ahead.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for taking the time for coming here and joining us on Good Morning Macomb.
It's a pleasure.
Now, what should the United States be more involved in what's happening in the Middle East? What do you think we should know that we haven't been told already?
Well, I think the United States needs Goldilocks involvement in the Middle East. And by that I mean pre-9/11, we were insufficiently involved, especially in Afghanistan, and we paid a heavy price for that because Al-Qaeda managed to operate successfully from there. Post-9/11, we were over-involved in the Middle East, especially in Iraq. We had too large a presence. We exacerbated the situation. So the challenge now is to stay engaged, but engage in the right way. And I think the Obama administration appreciates that and is very carefully calculating our engagement. They have a few new tools in that regard. They have special forces which are ramped up. They have a drone program which is sophisticated, but there'll be new challenges and needs for new strategies and tactics.
You took the role of the ambassador after 9/11,
right.
And then you took the time to go over to Yemen, and then you wrote a book about it. And we have your copy of your book right here. Can you explain what your book is about?
Sure. One of the major conclusions of the commission that studied the World Trade Center attacks was that we needed strategies for every area of the world where Al-Qaeda was trying to establish a safe haven. And prominent among these were Yemen. So my job was to go over there and to come up with a strategy for defeating, countering Al-Qaeda in Yemen. And what I do in the book is explain how we evolved that strategy and then how we executed that strategy.
Welcome back to Good Morning Macomb. I'm Drew Hoffman. Western softball team faced off against University of Illinois last night as a part of one of their last stops before the Summit League tournament. The softball team is no stranger to Big Ten competition. Back on April 2nd, the Leathernecks defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes 11-8. The Illini are led by Ali Ba, who scored 300 runs this season alone, and if that wasn't impressive enough, she's also batting over 400 with 18 doubles and 11 homers. Her offense would prove to be just too much for the Leathernecks as they would fall 9-0 in this one. The 2015 Westbees were held Monday night inside a Western Hall, and two student athletes received the athletic department's highest honor. Senior softball standout Sammy Marshall and men's soccer standout Charlie Bales were named the Senior Female and Male Student Athlete of the Year, respectively. Marshall most recently was drafted by the Chicago Bandits of the National Pro Fast Pitch League, and Bales will play semi-professional soccer for the Charlotte Independents of the United Soccer League. Both student athletes hold a GPA above 3.4. The Leatherneck baseball team returned home for a midweek matchup against St. Ambrose University. Western plans to carry the momentum from its series in Fargo, where Jake Moore and Colton Pogue hit above 500 on the weekend. The SIU Bees were swept in a triple header at home Monday against William Penn University. For this game, it would end up being the same score as the softball game, but the Leathernecks would be victorious this time. The guys started off hot, scoring 3 in the first and then 4 in the second. And after that was all Sam Cottingham Beard needed. 5 scoreless innings would earn him his first win of the year. WIU is back in action again today against SIU Edwardsville at 4:30. Now there's an old saying that there's two certainties in life, death and taxes. The St. Louis Cardinals have added a third, well, at least this season, as they will be without their ace pitcher Adam Wainwright for the remainder of the season due to a torn left Achilles. The Birds were in action again last night in Philly, and the Birds have not won since they lost their ace Adam Wainwright, and Matt Holliday's looking to change that. Bottom one, he ropes a double into left center field. That'll easily score Matt Carpenter. Birds up 1-0 after 1. Now let's skip ahead to the bottom of the second. It's going to be John Jay roping one through the right side. That'll easily score Colton Wong, and the Birds are tacking him on. Chase Utley looking to get the Phillies back into this one. He's going to hit one through the left side. That'll score Herrera, making it 4-2. But the Cardinals, everybody getting in on the fun. Waka, bloop single to center field, helping his cause. That'll bring home Mr. Hayward. Birds up by 4. And it's going to be Matt Coppin, bottom of 5, just a deep bomb. That'll be a ground rule double. That'll score Waka. That'll make the score 9-4, and the Birds would go on to win that game 11-5. So a great.
No, actually, I did specifically request this grant for this specific purpose. We're the last transit system in the state without them, and it isn't a matter. Frankly, it was more of a safety thing. We're very proud of the fact that our students ride safely and generally don't cause problems on our buses. But there have been deaths at Champaign and Iowa State from buses hitting pedestrians. We've never had that happen here, and frankly, I don't want it to happen here. So it's about a campus culture of safety, and this allows us to actually see in real time how do our drivers drive, how do they interact with the public. We can see in real time and make corrections.
Okay, so now let's dive in a little bit now to the big issue really concerning most students. That's the cost of textbooks.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a student like myself or anybody else, you've gone to Chegg, you've gone to Amazon, you've
Yes.
checked the bookstore, you're trying to bring students back to the bookstore.
Well, I mean, let's start here. In the last 2 years, our sales in the bookstore are up 12.5%, while our enrollment is down about the same amount. That's a huge market share increase. We've been doing some things right. But Dave, that doesn't solve the problem. The problem is that we see that over 20% of our students don't have their books. 200 requests a week in the library for books. And we know there's a direct correlation between their success at this institution and their ability to have those books. They don't have the discretionary money, no matter what the cost is, in order to be able to get the books. So next Tuesday, our students are going to have the opportunity to revolutionize the way that we do this here at Western Illinois University. We're one of the first 30 campuses in the United States to offer this option. We're going to centralize the purchase of books such that we can maximize buying power and make the books 50 to 80% cheaper, have them covered by financial aid, and they'll have them on day one. So no students have to wait. And we can maximize the power of our student body and take this off the table as a problem.
So students